We are in. Welcome, guys, to another 1v1 from the Balance of Power event tournament thing, hosted by Carlos Fernand and utilizing the balance patch, the AOC balance patch. So this game is going to be on the map Steppe, which is a nomad start, and I mean, I've not seen this map too many times. I think I remember seeing a game between Fiage and Goku, which was pretty fun on this map. It involved a lot of towers though, and I'm kind of hoping that this game doesn't include mass tower rushing, because you know it's not the most entertaining thing in the world. I think this map would be cool for oh, I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. We'll have to wait and see. But like, I don't know. I think this map is kind of nice. I just hope we don't see mass towers. That would be great. So down to the south of the map in the blue, we've got Caligo. He's playing as the Mongols. I'm not actually sure who this guy is. I don't know if this is like an alternate nickname for a well-known player, or if this is someone who I just don't know. I've never seen them before. Up to the north of the map, we've got CZ Max. Obviously a Czech player. I thought this was Mango. I might be wrong, but this might be Mango. I'm pretty sure it said that in the game title, but his name in game is different. But either way, he's playing as the Mayans there. So it's going to be Mayans versus Mongols. So again, non-mirror civ matchup, and we'll talk a little bit about the map first, and then of course we'll talk a little bit about the changes to these civs in the balance patch that this game is utilizing. So the couple of things about this map, right? First of all, you start with a horse. And the reason for that is because a horse gives you the ability to scout, but it prevents you from laming your enemy's villagers, since the horse cannot attack. You need a rider on the horse to attack something. Come on. Basic military facts. But yeah, so the horse doesn't have very good line of sight, which kind of sucks. But players are clearly getting a lot of scouting info already, simply because they're awesome. They use their sheep to scout. They, I don't know, they're just good at the game, man. Look at this. The scouting information already is insane. It's crazy. Yes, horse then. That's one quirk. And secondly, very, very open map. It's very, very open between the players. The wood lines are mostly around the edge, kind of scattered around, but in the middle it's very open. There's a lot of deer, however, a lot of deer, and players might be tempted to go out there and get them, maybe get a mill up between two deer patches. In order to do that, of course, you need to make sure you protect your villagers, and for that reason, maybe you'll see some scouts. Maybe you'll see some rushing action, something along those lines. And you see CZ Max already starting to take the deer in the center. Kudos to him. Kudos. 2 boar and standard sheep, I believe, as well. And plenty of gold, obviously, protected by the town center. So I think the real fight in the early game is certainly for the deer in the center. Usually on a nomad-type map, the TCs protect the villagers sort of around them, and it's very difficult to do early aggression on a nomad type map unless villagers are away from the TC. Looks like Caligo also going to be taking some of the deer here, and I like that. I like that both of these guys are going for that, because it's more likely that we'll see some earlier aggression or something. So before that aggression gets underway, we have about a minute and a bit. If either of these guys are going to rush, we'll talk a little bit about the changes, pardon me, to these civs. So the Mongols, their hunt bonus has been nerfed from 50% to 40%. It's still pretty significant. It still makes them very, very strong for scout rushing. It still makes it totally worthwhile to take the deer. That hunt bonus is going to be huge. I like that. But I think it's a much needed nerf because, you know, some would argue that the hunt bonus is just too strong. The Cavalry Archer fire rate bonus, which affects the Mangudai, has been decreased slightly. It shouldn't come into play unless we get to the late game and actually see some Mangudai. And I think it could be interesting. I mean, I think Plumed Archers versus Mangudai, with those changes in place, I don't know, we'll have to wait and see, I guess. And the team bonus that gives scouts a +1 line, gives +2 line of sight, has been reduced to +1 line of sight. Doesn't come into play since there's no scouts here at the moment, and basically Mangudai have the same missile delay as that of a plumed archer. So I think that means that they are actually, their attack speed slowed down a little bit. The Mongols then, the Mayans then, mostly just nerfs, and it's basically, you know, a general consensus that the Mayans are a very strong, overpowered civilization almost. So there's basically a whole bunch of nerfs for the Mayans here. Their archer bonus, which makes their archers cheaper, has been reduced. They start with less wood. Their resources last 15% longer instead of 20% longer, because everyone agrees that that is a bloody powerful upgrade, like bloody powerful unique bonus. The 20% longer lasting resources is amazing. It affects you on every single map. It's good in every single way, and it's just it's an awesome bonus to have, and it's been reduced to 15% instead of 20, so a small nerf. The Elite Plumed Archer upgrade also costs a little bit more, but there's not a huge amount of changes here again. I mean, a lot of general changes are going to obviously come into play here, but for now, both of these players starting to make militia, and this kind of play I like, as these guys are battling for the deer control in the center of the map. We've got, what, 5 militia, 6 militia out for Caligo, 3 militia out for Max here, who's obviously making a few less, but going up to the fuel age a little bit faster. Now, Caligo obviously taking advantage of that now 40% faster hunt gathering speed. He's going to grab as much deer as he can, as much food as he can from the center area, but he's still a little slow up to the fuel age here. He's taken his last sheep, he's going to take his berries, he's taken a bunch of deer as well. But yeah, like I say, he's going to be a little slower up to feudal, which could be interesting because although Max is outnumbered in militia here, he should be making a few more. He is, and he should be ready to go with men-at-arms, I think, once he gets up. He's got a few villagers taking gold, or 2 villagers taking gold, sorry, and he's going to be able to do men-at-arms once he hits the fuel age as well, in theory. He's continuing to make more militia. Caligo continuing to make more militia, and, you know, with this balance patch, it is definitely, you know, generally accepted that drushing has been buffed. Not directly, but indirectly, because the power of man-at-arms and longswordsmen have been increased quite a lot. However, are they increased enough? I don't know. I don't feel like drushing is so overpowered, but I certainly think that this map lends itself very well to a drush and man-at-arms to follow through. Just because, like I said earlier, the fight for the deer in the center of the map, it's pretty huge. Caligo going to come in, he's going to try and lay him some deer. Surprised he didn't go for a villager, because he could have actually caught this villager out entirely. But the man-at-arms upgrade coming in for Max now, and once that man-at-arm upgrades come in, he's going to be able to chase these militia down, because hey-ho, they move a little bit faster. It might only be 5%, but it's enough to close the gap and do some damage. And you see, you know, a little bit of extra health, the 2 extra attack. Maybe he could win this fight. I don't know though. There's a lot of militia here, and Caligo's just gonna go for it anyway. And safety in numbers. That's right, herd immunity. Caligo gonna win that fight regardless of the fact that the man-at-arms are out, and comfortably as well, losing just a single militia and taking out 5 or so. I think it's 5 men-at-arms. So well played. Now, Max is doing the only logical thing, and that is to switch into archers here before he gets too overwhelmed by these units. Now, in the feudal age, the archer reduction price, the cost reduction on archers is 10%, so that's nice. And you know, he's got safe gold under his TC, he's got safe wood. Archers should be easy for Max right now. It should be easy CZ for Max right here. Archer's going to be coming out, and if he's got enough, he should be able to deal with these militia quite comfortably. Obviously, in Caligo's situation, he's going to want to go ahead and do man-at-arms now. And it's worth noting that militia do not get any pierce armor. That's been nerfed, actually. So they are weaker to archers. If you do a drush and your opponent fast feudals with archers, it's going to be better at taking these guys down, since the 4 attack will all go through, and these militia have no pierce armor like they would normally have without the balance patch. So Caligo here coming forwards. I mean, quite a few low militia here. He's going to get man-at-arms though. The armor's going to pop on, and these two archers are not going to be too effective. They still can outrun these guys though. I mean, it would kind of be stupid if man-at-arms could outrun archers. That doesn't make any sense. Archers are fast, they're light on their feet, and men-at-arms are very clunky, slow, and in full armor. So, you know, it makes sense that archers should be able to outrun them. But like I say, that movement speed increase on the men-at-arms, definitely useful for raiding. It's just that on this map, you can't really raid because the TC is placed in such a way that all the villages are protected around it, and villagers don't have to go too far to get those resources. Apart from, of course, taking the deer in the middle, which Caligo is making full advantage of at the moment. Caligo going for the castle age right now. He's wasting no time. This guy, he's like, yep, I'm going to take all these deer. I'm going to go up to the castle age. So easy for him. And he's doing an archery range now as well. Maybe we'll see long swordsman. I don't think so. He's only got 5 man-at-arms. And long swordsman is a very expensive upgrade to make as well, so I don't know. CZ Max coming in, going to kill a couple of villagers here on these mills, and well, it would be very wise for Caligo to try and drop that food off before these villagers die. Fletching is done, so these guys are going to be hammering away that damage, and look at that, 26 food dropping to the ground. 26 food dropping to the ground. Caligo losing out on so much food income here, since he just cannot drop the food off. What a mistake from him. At least try and get to the mill. Another 25 food there, just gone. What a waste. What a waste. Now CZ Max on the front, taking the stone of Caligo here. It looks like he might be tempted to do a couple of towers. Now it's worth noting that in the balance patch, the stone cost of watchtower outposts, has been removed, so you can make outposts all day long, and you don't have to worry about the stone cost affecting things once you hit the castle age. It's not going to cost you any stone at all. So Max utilizing that, gonna get some visibility on the map, see what's going on, and it's certainly paid off because he's killed a bunch of villagers. And that's always worthwhile. He's actually ahead at the moment by 12 villagers. Max is ahead by 12 whole villagers. And Caligo fast castling it up. Very risky strategy to take. He's doing a bunch of skirms right now. Maybe he'll be doing elite skirm as soon as he hits the castle age. I think he should do it. It would be worthwhile, but he's doing Bodkin Arrow first anyway. And at the moment, yeah, he's going to be a little bit skint for the time being. He needs to work on his eco. He could throw up a second TC. Maybe that would be a good idea, but I don't think it would be a great idea. It would be much more preferable for him to actually focus a bit more on military and equalize things with Max here. Try and kill some villagers and level the playing field a little bit. Obviously Max is not quite close to the castle age at all. He's got a lot of farms up though. He's got a lot more military, and he's going to be able to find villager kills perhaps a little easier because of that. So you know, Caligo needs to focus on military, and he's going to do just that with a siege workshop coming out here on the right hand side, and I think that's a good play by him. He could still put up the second TC as well, but it might be more wise for him to kind of just wait and see how things go with this aggression before he puts up his second TC. But no, he's gonna done it anyway, and he's gonna put it on this left hand side. So he should be able to catch up villager count pretty quickly here, but he's still 14 villagers behind, which is pretty huge at this stage. Max still pumping out those archers, still making some skirms as well, but it's worth noting, I mean, if we have a quick look at the graphs here, let's just turn the graphs on and look at the resource income. The food income of Caligo, he's got nearly 1,000 extra food over Max just because of all the deer that he's managed to secure. However, everything else is behind. He's behind on wood, he's behind on stone, he's behind on gold as well. So for Caligo here, it's, I don't know, he needs to just get his villager count up, really. That's what I think needs to happen right now. That's what needs to go down. Thank you very much, Lord Paler, for subbing for the... Well, I don't know. It isn't your first time, is it? But thank you for subscribing again, anyway. Much appreciated. And sorry you don't get a Wololo hype right now. You don't get a sub drop because it's bugged out. And it's basically playing it twice. And it was getting very annoying. But thank you very much, Lord Paler. And you guys, let's just welcome him to the Wololo Warlords. I see those Wololo hypes in the chat. Spam it. Spam it all day, all night. Wololo Warlord hype. Alrighty, so at the back of the map here, look at this. The perfect timing with that scam. He was trying to build a market to stop these units getting in. It didn't work. It backfired. A single skirm here preventing this from happening. It might be worthwhile to chase him off, dude. You know what? Actually, I don't think he could have built that anyway, because there's actually a tree line there. I wonder if he can do that. Can he do that? Can he build that through the corner? No, he can't. What am I talking about? He can't do that. It's obstructed. Get out of there. Don't lose a villager to a skirmisher. Don't be weak. Be strong. He's going to survive for now. Well played. Well played. So he is going to do this market on the left side, and well, Caligo getting super aggressive, and I like this. This is what he needs to do right now. This is the perfect response, or the perfect action, the perfect course of action, I guess. A lot of Max's army is away from home. He's coming in with rams, a scorpion. Why not? And you know, the power here is that rams are going to be so much better at dealing with these watchtowers if he's got the support of the military. And he has! So this is ideal. Caligo's killing it right now. And the CZ Max is trying to go to the Castle Age. He's rebuilding his archery ranges up at the back here. But a few idols on the left side. He's throwing up towers. He's getting very defensive. He's like obviously rebuilding these archery range. That is costly. And Caligo, whoever you are, Caligo, you're doing a good job. He's going to... CZ Max is going to click up to the Castle Age in just a second. He's got 20 food away. I'm surprised as well, he's lost a villager back here. This skirmisher, he might be weak. He might be very bad at what he does. But he is still going to find some villager kills. And he is still going to harass that woodlion, whether Max likes it or not. He's super defensive now. Great map control for Caligo. And I don't know, once Max hits the Castle Age, what will he do? Obviously, he's going to go for crossbowmen. Obviously, he's going to take advantage of the Mayan cheaper archers, 15% cheaper now in the Castle Age instead of 20%, so it's been nerfed slightly. But, you know, is that going to be the right way forwards? I don't know. Caligo here, a lot of skirms, he's got a Scorp, he could easily add a Mangonel, and he's not doing that just yet. He could afford to, though. No problem. He's got Bodkin Arrow. He's doing +1 defense. And Max still isn't even into the Castle Age just yet. So I think Caligo's in a fantastic position. He's got the villager advantage, or nearly got the villager advantage. But with 2 TCs working away, he's certainly going to take that advantage very soon. And now we're just waiting for him to do some... I don't know. I mean, I don't know why he's not coming here with these rams and taking the towers out. I don't know where these guys are going. Oh, God. Oh, God. Sorry, I take that. What? Yeah, he's just like, lol. What's going on? Why did he do that? Like, absolutely 0 sense. Just, oh, you know, I'm just going to walk between your 2 towers, walk into your army without attacking them, and then walk through your TC whilst it's firing a million arrows at me. What? That makes no sense. What the hell is going on? Oh, goodness me, that was a waste, an absolute waste. And now CZ Max has taken the score lead because of that very silly play. I don't know if that was a misclick. It must have been. There's no other way that his units would have gone around there unless he clicked inside of there somewhere. You know, if he'd have clicked anywhere else, they wouldn't have gone that way because it's sealed at the back. This is a completely sealed area. So he had to have clicked inside. There's no other way that his units would have got in there. So it must have been a misclick. It wouldn't have been bad pathfinding. Either way, CZ Max now with the advantage here. TC coming up on the front, Mangonel coming straight out, and he's on the prowl on the right side once again, looking for some more villagers. Of course, there's very few deer left over here though. There's like, you know, a few deer here and there, but not really a huge amount of food to be had in the center of the map. It's a barren wasteland now, and these guys are going to be just fighting across it at various points of the game, I guess. So Caligo retaking the score lead, and I mean for him right now, maybe a 30C. Oh, he's already done a 30C, so there you go, 30C coming up already up for him. And he's just going to try and stay ahead in villager count. Maybe he's just going to defend with this Mangonel and take it to the Imperial Age. Who knows? He could do it. He could do it. I don't know, though. At the moment, his military production very low. He's really just focusing on building up his eco. And, you know, a lot of times that can be very risky, since the other guy is going to be making military, he's going to be pressuring you. Don't think you're going to be able to sit you know, for 10 minutes untouched while you just, you know, build up your beautiful economy. Doesn't work that way. And Max is coming in at the back with a few archers, but of course Caligo does have his mangonel here to defend. And if Max is unwary, if he doesn't watch this mangonel carefully, he could lose a lot of these units very, very quickly as well. Since a single shot will kill a whole bunch of them. Mangonel power. I do really like the fact, though, that Max is taking advantage of these outposts here. I think that's a really good idea by him, a good use of this balance patch tweak, that the stone cost has been removed. I think that's fantastic. Obviously, a good amount of map control gained from that. And when is map control ever a bad thing? When is map visibility ever a bad thing in an RTS game? Oh, interesting. He's just like almost killed his own mangonel there, but he did kill the villager in the end, which is good. But once again, we're seeing like this kind of play with siege, and just not a lot of support for it. These two mangonels coming forwards on the left side, so exposed. They could be down in an instant if Caligo comes in with these rams. If he comes in with a villager or two, yeah, I don't know. I mean, Max could be using his army to protect these guys. Instead, he's just leaving them wide out in the open. But however, the scores are still pretty close. Max now throwing up that castle there. I think that's a very good idea, because obviously one of the powers of the Mayans are their plumed archers. So the sooner you can start the plumed archer production, the better, I guess. They're nice and cheap, they're easy to mass, they produce pretty quickly. You have a castle which helps protect your economy. They're great at dealing with other archer units. They're pretty tanky even against mangonels. So, you know, there's so many benefits to the plumed archers. And they're such a strong unit. And I don't think this balance patch has changed that at all. So, I don't know. We'll see what happens here. We'll expect to see the plumed archers coming out, but Max is still only on the 1 TC here. No, 2 TCs, sorry. 3 TCs. I didn't even see this one at the back. Am I blind? I obviously am. He could easily go up to a 4th TC now as well. The question is, where would he put it? There's not many good locations for a 4th TC. Here would have been good. But he's kind of already built stuff there, which is a little awkward. Caligo now doing some knights, and at the moment, they're pretty unupgraded. He's doing +2 defense, but without any bloodline upgrade, I don't know how long these guys are going to stay alive for. For now, they can probably attack this pretty comfortably, and probably clean it up as well, since these guys are not upgraded to crossbow. But against plumed archers, yeah, he's going to have a tougher time against that. And, you know, plumed archers here, with that 50 HP like I was talking about, they're able to tank a shot from a mangonel as well, which makes them very strong, especially for their price. So, villager count-wise, Caligo's still ahead, and I mean, that's expected, but the choice to go knights here, I think that's kind of questionable. And I think the problem for Caligo is the map visibility or map control. He doesn't seem to have a lot of it. He has seen that castle though, so I don't know. I mean, he must have scouted something around this area. I don't know where these villagers are going either. Kind of weird. But yeah, I mean, it certainly seems like Max has got he's wearing the trousers right now. He's got map control, so he's able to see what's going on, and he's just building another castle now on the front as well. As Rodin says, or Rodian, sorry, I can't read. As you rightly say, monks would be good as well. You know, a couple of monks would easily turn the course of, or the battle around. But still, these knights are not going to be able to run into these plumed archers and survive for long. Caligo still not doing bloodlines, of course, and this castle up on the front now is going to be able to hold down this area. Caligo's going to try and build the castle as well. He's pulling a bunch of villagers in here to do this. Obviously, he's spotted the castle from Max, and I think what Max needs to do right now is come forwards with these units. He's got enough archers, I think, to justify crossbow, but he needs to get in there, and he needs to try and kill some villagers. Oh, goodness me, though, a mangonel. He needs to micro if he wants to win that fight. And at the moment, I mean, Max does not have enough plumed archers here. I honestly thought he would have a lot more than this at this stage. But he's kind of let the ball drop at the moment. And this castle will not succeed. The castle from Caligo will go up, prevent this castle from being completed. And the knights will get a couple of villager picks as well. I guess Max just wasn't able to really micromanage this fight and kill these mangonels off. He's got a real easy way to do that, and that once again is where monks could be very useful, as Reddy Rodian said earlier, because if you convert a couple of knights, you can then turn them against your enemy to take down their mangonels as well. So I wonder if we will see a monastery coming up. At the moment, it doesn't look like it. Max is taking a lot of gold, though. He's got 1,300 gold in the bank. He's got a very imbalanced economy, and I'm starting to wonder really what the plan is there. I'm also still wondering about these villagers. They are literally just wondering about the map, and I am wondering about why they're wondering about the map. It makes no sense. What is this? Maybe they're scouting for something, but Caligo has a knight. He could also use that to scout with instead of using villagers. It doesn't make a lot of sense. Maybe he was looking for deer. Maybe he was looking for more resources. I have no clue. But yes, Max all the way up to the Imperial Age now, and I think that's a good choice. He obviously used all of that gold to buy some food, get his way up to the Imperial Age faster, and with that, he could really change the pace of this game. At the moment, Caligo has that score lead, and that's not really surprising at the moment. Caligo, no sign of Mangadai just yet. Looks like he wants to click Imp himself, but obviously, if Max gets Imp first, he's going to have Trebs out first, and he's going to be trying to bring down this castle as quickly as possible. In a lot of situations, when a civilization uses their unique unit a lot, example, the Mayans, the Mongols, when they are reliant on castles, it's a really good idea to get to the Imperial Age as quickly as possible and bring their castles down before they can utilize them and overwhelm you with military. So if you can take the castles down quickly, you can stop their military production right before it gets going, and that's important. So Caligo here about to click Imperial himself. He's getting aggressive on this left side, which is looking pretty nasty for Max. Max is stonewalling this up though. It's worth noting walling has been nerfed in this patch as well. Stone walls cost 6 stone instead of 5, and they take 2 seconds longer to build, so they take 10 seconds instead of 8. So walling has been nerfed, and obviously that's kind of a big deal. Also crossbowman upgrade's been nerfed as well. The crossbowman upgrade is now more expensive in this patch, which is probably one of the reasons actually why Max didn't upgrade to crossbow, because you need more archers to justify it now. That makes sense, right? So Max is up to Imp, and Caligo's now starting the Mangadai production. So there's quite a few changes to the Mangadai here. They fire more slowly, basically, which is probably a much needed nerf. Mangadai are a very, very, very good unit. They're so strong, and one of the best unique units in the game. They are so powerful. So the reduction in missiles, reduction in fire rate, I think is very, very good for the, well, it's not good for the Mongols, puts them at a disadvantage where they would have had an advantage, but it's good for other civs fighting against them. Obviously the Plumed Archer is interesting anyway, because it's an archer unit that is very good at withstanding arrow fire itself. The Pierce armor of a Plumed Archer definitely makes it pretty, well, more tanky against archers, and they have a lot of health as well compared to other archer units. So Plumed Archers is so strong, and bear in mind how cheap it is also. But either way, Max here, like I was saying, he's going to stop this military production as fast as he possibly can, and he's going to throw those Trebs straight out, 2 out immediately. No more queued up though. Maybe it would be wise to do a 3rd, and he's going to try and bring this castle to its knees before Caligo can really get the Mangadai production going. Though I don't think he has to be as scared about Mangadai as he would once have been without this patch. But yes, castle obviously going to be brought down pretty quickly here. Unless there's more repairers on this, it's not going to stand up to too much more. And yeah, another 2 Trebs coming out as well. So engage the Treb war. Obviously Caligo though, with Mangadai have that attack bonus against siege. So Max has to be very careful. He can't leave these Trebs undefended, because Mangadai could come out, they could snipe these Trebs very, very quickly. But if Caligo loses his castles, then he's in for a very rough ride. He's doing capped ram, he's doing bracer, but I think by the time he's able to upgrade these Mangudai, the castles are already going to be gone. And in fact, without the wood at the moment, he can't even upgrade, he can't even make these Mangudai right now. So down goes this castle. These Mangudai are now out in the open. 5 of them. Is that going to be enough to stop the plumed archers? I don't think so. The plumes are going to go back, but a couple of rams coming out here as well. And looks like, okay, Caligo's going to go for these trebs by the looks of it. Perfect use of these mangonels though, bringing down the rams very quickly. Caligo is going to try for these trebs, but the trebs packing up and moving back towards the castles. Going to keep him safe and sound for now. And Max losing those 2 mangonels there, which is pretty, shame for him. But if he gets a couple more out, he's going to be in an okay position actually. Maybe some Eagle Warriors would be good to deal with the siege of Caligo. And surprisingly, Caligo's still with that score lead there, still making a bunch of Mangudai, whilst Max is still pumping out those plumed archers. Upgrade-wise, these guys pretty much doing very similar upgrades here, both of them doing chemistry, Caligo doing all of these eco upgrades as well, which is going to be really important. And if anything, I think maybe the map's a little unfair. It does seem like there's more gold on Caligo's side of the map here. He's definitely got more gold by the looks of things. And he's rebuilding these castles right now as well, so more Mangudai coming out. And of course, more castles means more Mangudai as well. So we're going to see a lot of those guys there. I think he really needs a bit more wood income though at this stage. His wood income is very low compared to what he needs. But I will be interested to see how Mangudai fare against Elite Plumed Archer now. Chemistry coming in as well for Max. And, he's nearly fully upgraded here on these Elite Plumes. I would be interested to see if he can take this fight. Obviously the mangonels from Caligo are going to be pretty potent here. They might not kill these plumed archers in one shot, but if there's 4 of them, then obviously 2 shots will be enough to kill them, and with 4 of them he's going to have 4 shots at his disposal, so that could be pretty nasty. And bear in mind as well that the Mongols get themselves Onager and Siege Onager, so Caligo would be wise to do the Onager upgrade here. That would make it a lot easier for him to take these plumed archers down. Now I'd love to see how the Mangudai fare on their own against the plumes, but really I think it's going to be difficult to see that because Caligo is doing the right thing and adding a bunch of siege. There you go, the plumed archers there getting flattened. It's not nice. That's gotta hurt, surely. That's really gotta hurt. Goodness me. Capture rams here are also going to be used to soak up that arrow fire whilst the Mangudai fire in from behind here. Obviously the Mangudai with a little less range, but the nice thing about Mangudai is that they can deal with capped rams much easier than plumed archers can. Capped rams are able to soak up a lot more arrow fire from plumed archers than they are from Mangudai, simply because the Mangudai have this siege attack bonus. But still, Caligo's been, fended off once again. But he's now doing what is, again, the right thing to do. He's going to go for light cavalry. He's going to go for hussar very soon. And he's going to try and raid with that with those light cavalry units. Max here throwing up a castle. That is bloody risky. Right on that right-hand side. Very little defense for those villagers. And they're just going to get picked off. Will Max though lose these trebs? Trebs from will Caligo lose these trebs? Trebs at the back deploying now. A couple of shots and these trebs will go down. Unfortunately, they are very, very inaccurate. But hey. Anyway, at the moment, Caligo's going to fight these plumes, but he's going to find himself fighting a very tough battle. The Mangudai nerf really seems to be hitting hard. Bear in mind that Mangudai here are not elite though, and bear in mind that these guys are also more expensive than elite plumed archers. So these plumes are doing very well at the moment, and Caligo just throwing away those trebs for absolutely nothing it seems. The plumed archers winning against the Mangudai pretty conclusively, and with 6 pierce armor versus just 4, they're able to tank up a lot more of this arrow fire as well, which is really nice. And there you go. Max is probably going to win this fight right here, I feel. Although saying that, Elite Mangudai just popping in for Caligo there, but he is running away because that's just too much to handle. Scouts coming out for Caligo now. He's not doing light cavalry yet, it seems, and I'm not sure why, but it's certainly going to be worthwhile for him to get some light cavalry out and try and attack on the flanks somewhere. Oh, he's also doing some raiding here. I like that. Three elite Mangudai coming in on the left side. Going to go ahead and raid this wood line at the back. There's no defense here for Max, really. There's obviously this watchtower, but that's not going to do a whole lot. And these guys are going to just find their way into the wood line and very quickly basically kill all of these villagers. I think Caligo's got this game at the moment. I don't know though. I mean, the score is looking great for him. Caligo's got a huge villager advantage. Max doesn't seem to have noticed that these guys are in the back here, which is horrible to see. There's going to be a lot of dead villagers by the time he's noticed. And I don't know, the only redeeming factor, I guess, is that Max might be able to win against the Mangudai in a one-on-one fight with the elite plumed archers. But that's not all there is to a game. It's not about the one-on-one fights with your main army. It's very much about the raiding as well. And just look at that. That should not be happening right now. How many villagers were on this wood line? I don't even want to know, because there's just too many dead vills. And Caligo knows he's just solidifying this game, like his lead here, with that raiding at the back there. But still, I think the elite plumed archers, look at this, they're doing so much damage here. But they're really doing a great job against the Mangudai. And it's not surprising, is it, really? Especially when you consider the cost of these units. Even if the guy with the plumed archers loses more, he's probably done more damage because the cost of the units is so low. But yeah, that was messy from Max there. You guys are just like, what's going on? That shouldn't happen. And I think Caligo, you know, he's got to have this game now. I don't see how he can't really have this game at this stage. Maybe the gold income is not looking good for him. Ooh, actually, that's the point. He's got no gold income right now. He's actually not scouted the gold at the south of the map, which is a bit of a shame. He's doing siege engineers for extra range, forging, and light cavalry. So he is switching into hussars, so we'll be able to do some more raiding at some point. But yeah, I mean, I'm surprised really he's not found the gold at the very south of the map. He's got a lot of map visibility. He's scouted all the way over here. But there you go. Now he's found it. He's found it. He's using his Mangudai to scout. Good man. That's what you do. That's how we do. And he's also got the siege rams. So this is going to be huge now, because the siege rams here are basically going to be able to come in front, tank up the arrow fire, and maybe the Mangudai will win the fight. Who knows? I don't know. He really needs to get some hussar out though at this stage. And Caligo with hussar could probably win the game, judging by how unaware Max seems to be of the raiding that's going on. Siege rams as well, if there's enough of them out front, he could come in and tear down these castles. The problem is they are a bit expensive for Caligo to afford at the moment. Looking at his market here, I mean, actually, what am I doing? I can't look at his market. I want to look at the buy and sell price. The wood and food is actually still looking pretty good. If I was Caligo right now, I would sell some food and I would sell some wood. Because he's got a lot of wood at the moment, he doesn't quite need all of it at once. I'd definitely try and get some gold while the sell price is still quite nice. He's also going to take this gold down here, but it's not a great gold mine. Also, what is that gold mining placement? I've never seen something so ridiculous in my life. Caligo, just going to build a mining camp to block his villagers from reaching the gold. They have gold all the way around now, but hey, it doesn't matter that much, I guess. Anyway, on the front here, light cavalry coming in. They're going to tank a little bit of that arrow fire, but just look at how many plumed archers there are. We're looking at 60 military from Max right now, and 36 from Caligo. These are just so cheap, and there's so many of them. Yet look how much arrow fire these rams can tank. It's just like they do this for a living. They do this every day. They do it daily. Oh my god, whatever. Anyway, the right thing for Max to do here is try and close the gap towards the Mangudai. And sure, Caligo's going to take down one of those castles, but Max's micro here certainly put him in a position where he can win this fight at the cost of a single castle. I don't think that's too bad. He's also bringing in some skirms now. Caligo trying to take that gold at the back, but he's just not aware what's going on. Neither of these guys noticing the little things, and that's what really sets players apart. You know, it sets the 2K4 players away from the 2K players. Just things, little things like that. There you go, he's rebuilt it, he's realized his mistake, but now he's going to have too many villagers here, I think. They're going to be blocking each other, it's going to be too saturated. I might be wrong, but he needs the gold, so he's going to do everything he can do to get it. He's also sold some resources now. Look at the wood sell price, that's down to 24, so he's sold some of that. He's got some gold in the bank, and Max has got nothing. Wow, he's down to 158 population. His population headroom is 145. He doesn't even have the houses right now to build more units. After losing those 2 castles, that's pretty costly. And Caligo just able to bring down these 2 castles with these trebs here. And Max, I don't know, I mean, siege is difficult against the Mongols. Siege is very hard to pull off. And right now, Caligo's got this game, in my opinion. He's got close to 1,000 gold in the bank. He's got 3k wood, so he can keep pumping out the Mangudai all day long. He can keep pumping out the siege as well. And I'm just really surprised he didn't go for Onager. I think that would be a really, really valuable thing for him to do. He could still do Hussar, though. And, of course, he could get the final attack upgrade and start raiding. I think using these units to take on the plumed archers is not wise. On the left side, a couple of rams. He's going to try and take down this castle as well, by the looks of things. It's a little wasteful to send these rams forward without actually sending much military with it, though. I don't know. But the Mangudai now certainly getting up to good numbers. And still, Max is just pop-blocked so hard. And he can't seem to get those houses up fast enough. A couple of petards queued out. Not sure what that's about. And okay, that's what it's all about. He was going to try and bust this wall down. Instead, he's going to raid with a few plumed archers in here. Could be pretty devastating. Caligo's got no protection for these villagers and no real easy way to run away. Still, more Mangudai raiding coming in on the right side here. The rams still doing what they do best and tanking up that arrow fire. On the left side, the siege rams coming in for the castle here. 2 petards out. Are they going to be used? I don't know. I mean, it could be cool to try and take the rams down with them. And I don't know if these rams are going to survive this. Or is the castle going to survive it? Who knows? This ram's going to go down, but it looks like the castle's being repaired up pretty quickly as well. And I think for now he's going to be fine. Good raiding by Max in the back, though. He's going to find himself a few villagers here, but certainly nowhere near as many villagers as Caligo has found so far. He's raided that stone on the right side. But once again, Max, sheer numbers here, pushing these Mangudai away. Caligo spending all of his gold right now. There's none left. It's amazing how quickly players can get through that. Spending quite a bit on Hussar, though, of course. Hussar now coming in. So he needs to focus on raiding. He needs to raid. Raiding is the way forwards. Fighting head-to-head with the plumes in the middle of the map is just going to cost him a lot of resources, as these Mangudai clearly, with these nerfs, cannot stand up to the plumed archers at all. I think they'd struggle anyway, but, you know, now they're even slower at firing. They certainly don't stand up to it much at all. And Max is raiding quite nicely now as well, which is good. Also, another castle coming up from Max. So I think Max is certainly coming back in this game. It looked for a while like Caligo was still all over it. Looks like he was going to have it solidly. And he still could if he raids well. And he's already raiding at the back now with some Mangudai. We've already seen how much damage he can do with those guys. Easy villager kills all day long. But Max is starting to raid it equally now, which is good. He's also doing the gold mining upgrade. And he's still got a bit of gold income himself, in fact. Though I don't really know if that gold mining upgrade was really necessary here. We'll see. Anyway, Hussar for Caligo. They're fully upgraded. He's got some rams out front. Maybe these elite plumed archers won't win this fight. But knowing these plumed archers, they probably will win the fight. They're just so good. They're just so good. And they're so cheap. It's so easy. So easy to make plumed archers and just win everything. Win at life. But still, I think if Caligo starts raiding seriously, then he could have this game. He's just got to take the attention away from this front area from Max. At the moment, though, both of them kind of falling back, sitting back, and building up. And for Caligo, that's certainly not going to be the best decision because he's got the population advantage. In fact, he's population capped at 190. He needs a couple of houses here. There you go, building some now. But since he's got this big advantage in not in military, sorry, just in general, more villagers. He's got more potential to make more military. He's got more resources in the bank to either sell for gold or to reinvest into units once they die. He could just get very aggressive and just pile the pressure on. That's what I think would be a good idea anyway. Yeah, let's have a quick look. Again, food sell price is 66 gold. He could go ahead and sell some food. He could even sell some stone if he wants at this stage. I think this could be a big fight for Caligo here, though. And sure, the Max has 90 military, Caligo has 66, but this is looking like a pretty potent combination. And the problem for Max now as well is that gold's getting pretty scarce. Once the gold runs out, he's forced into making skirms only. There's no option here for him to make hussars, and the hussars are going to absolutely tear through the skirms all day long. Of course, Mongol hussars, a little bit of extra health at the expense of some armor, but look how quickly those skirms died there. Easy pickings. And Caligo once again coming forwards and deploying the trebs. The ram train, oh my god, the ram train. Soaking up so much arrow fire. And Caligo just needs to get his army in here. He needs to attack. He needs to protect these trebs a little bit as well. But yeah, I mean, he should win this fight. Caligo's got to have this one, surely. Max still has a huge military advantage, though. And I don't know, I think just sheer numbers here is once again going to push Caligo back, but his rams are going to be pretty unstoppable as they come through. He'll probably lose the trebs, however, but he has taken down another castle, and he's working his way forwards into Max's base. At the back, he's starting to raid a little more as well now. Max has got 85 villagers. It's really not a lot. Yet he still has quite a lot of resources in the bank. Certainly nowhere near the amount that Caligo potentially has, and it looks like Caligo's just sold a bunch of food as well. Probably selling about 1,500 food there for a bit of extra gold. And I think he's got to win this fight now. He's just got to win this fight. He can replenish his army for much longer. He can afford to keep spending gold here on siege. He can afford to keep spending some gold on elite Mangudai. He can continue to add the hussars and take down any of these elite skirms that Max creates. Max is now forced to make skirms only. He's got a single castle making a few plumes, but he doesn't have enough gold to realistically continue making them for the rest of the game now. And sure, he's making the few the odd plumed archer here, but yeah, I mean, taking down this castle on the left side was a great move as well. These siege rams all over for Caligo, and with one castle left, he's really just stopped Max's military production. And if he can just force Max to make skirms, then it's an easy win, because the hussars are going to be all over it. Max there resigning. He's calling GG. G to the G indeed. And hussars at the back continuing to raid a little bit there. But yeah, like I say, I mean, once Max was out of gold there, once his last castle had gone down as well, he wouldn't have had any options. I think it's safe to say, though, the elite plumed archer there, much superior to the Mangudai. Really very, very strong. Simply their pierce armor, their HP is very high as well for a foot archer, and the attack obviously a little less. A little extra range certainly helps things out. But the firing speed nerf of the Mangudai has really hurt them in this matchup. And the cost of the plumed archer is so much less as well, remember. So the plumed archer, I think, much superior, easier to mass still. But Max played that one, sorry, Caligo played that one just right, because he was focusing on the castles, and he knew that once those castles were down, for Max at that stage, he had no options left. He can't keep making plumed archers, and it's a matter of time until they're all cleaned up, and he's forced to make trash, which he can just take out easily with his hussars. So G to the G, and that's going to be a win for Caligo right there. Pretty fun game. A little bit of action right from the start, or all throughout rather. It's the kind of thing I like to see.